Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Rogers from ClickX Media, where I hope you could journey as a software graphic designer, web designer, or UX designer. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through how you can actually get yourself free fonts for your next graphic design project. It could be a sales project, it could be a presentation, you could be doing web design, you could be doing any project, but you don't have free fonts that you can use, or you would want more fonts that are not, pre-installed on your PC or your computer, because computers always come with predefined fonts that you can use. If at all you'd want to explore more fonts or get out of that bracket and get to know that there are other fonts that you can use, then stick around until the end of this video. I'm going to be showing you how you can get yourself a variety of fonts. Now guys, the other thing you have to get to know is that this video is actually a continuation of my previous video. So this is actually a continuation of my previous video where I showed you how you can get free icons that you can use in your next graphic design project. I showed you how you can get this web sort of like icon, then this phone icon, then this email icon. And for the video before that one, I showed you how you can get these illustrations right here. And the links to those videos are in the description of this specific video. So guys, what you can do is watch those videos and then get back right here, because we are actually going to continue with this specific file. You can actually get a link to this file from the description, the raw file. Yes, the raw file together with this image, which is like the reference. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you first of all which fonts I used for the headings, and then which fonts I used for these other paragraphs, and then the fonts I used for these other areas with the icons. So guys, stick around until the end. Now, what we're going to do is open up your favorite web browser. I'm going to be using Chrome. You can use any web browser, because I'm going to be giving you the links together with the keywords that you can use to access these specific fonts I used. You realize that in this specific area, which is like the header or the titles of these specific areas, I actually used a different font from the paragraphs and a different font for these other areas. So guys, let's jump right in. So the first website I'm going to take you through today is called The Font. Yeah, The Font. I think you can see. The font is actually very popular. So many designers have actually used it. If you haven't used it, now is the time for you to actually give it a try. Copy the link to this specific website from the description below, and then what you're going to do is get back to your web browser, open a new tab, and then paste that specific link right here and click enter, or press the enter key. Now you'll be brought to this website. I don't know why it's it's actually zoomed out. Let me zoom in to 100%. So guys, this is the website, and I think you can see at a glance they do give you a variety of specific fonts that you can use. So many fonts, stylistic fonts. They actually give you categories. There's a category section at the top of this specific website. It's right here. And you can get fancy fonts, foreign look fonts, techno, bitmap, gothic, basic script, digbats, holiday fonts, etc. There are so many fonts, guys. If you are a designer or a creative, this website is going to be handy, because you're going to use this website to get free fonts. What I did once I got here, because for me, I usually want to be very specific, because we ain't got all the time in the world. We need to design this specific infographic right here in time so that we can move on to the next thing. So guys, what I did was, once I got here, is I actually looked under the basic sort of like section right here, and I looked for this sans serif, the sans serif category. So I clicked on that category, and then the first font that actually caught my eye, because for me, as you might know, I usually like things that actually grab my eye so fast, because those things are actually interesting. What I did was I actually looked at this font with these sharp sort of like edges, and I really liked the font. So I was like, why don't I actually try out this font for my specific headings right here? So what I did was I got here, and then I saw this button which was like download. So what I'm going to do is, once you get to this page, scroll down a bit, then for this font that is called Lemon Milk, it's the font we're going to get. But you can get any other font that you want, that you're interested in. You can get this one, you can get this one, Roboto. You can get any font that you're interested in. There are so many names right here. But as you can see, for me, I actually got interested in this one. So what I did, or what you can do, is click on this button, the download button, and then your download will start. And then it's done. So it's a zip file. So make sure that you have unzipping software on your computer or your PC, so that you can be able to unzip this file. Let me open it up right here. It's right here. So let me double click it, and then I've actually unzipped it, and then they've given me actually a folder. So I'm actually going to double click this folder, and then I'll see all these files. So these are your specific fonts. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open up my software that I use to install fonts on this Mac system. You might have a different way to install these fonts on a Windows machine, but all I know is, for Windows, you can actually double click each font. For example, you can double click a font right here, and then you can see this install font button, and then you can click install. Now your font will be installed under your font manager sort of like software. Then for Mac users, of course, you can also search for this specific folder called fonts. Just search for this font manager sort of like software. I'm sure it's called font book. Yeah, it's called font book. Just search for font book, then you can just drag and drop all these fonts. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me select all these fonts at once, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to drag and drop them in this font manager. You can have a different font manager, but just drag and drop these specific fonts in there, and then they will be installed automatically. Just like you've seen right here, I've actually installed Lemon Milk, so I can actually inspect. So Lemon Milk is like this. This is how it actually looks like. Let me actually expand this so you can see it. So Lemon Milk is right here, and these are the styles and the Lemon Milk. So I'm going to have the liberty to use Lemon Milk however I want in my graphic design projects, web design, or any other project. If I told you want a stylistic font that is sort of like different from what you already have on your system, because these system fonts are sometimes very boring if you realize. So you would want something new that is really nice and sweet, and it will give your viewers sort of like a different sort of like view of your designs. So they'll get interested in looking at your designs and picking the different information from your designs. So guys, after that, what we're going to do is, we're going to get back right here in our Illustrator file. Just like I told you, if you don't have this file, check the description below. You will get a raw Illustrator file, and you will move along with me. Or you can check out the image in the description. There's a link to this image. Download it, then please follow along. Now guys, what we're going to do is get back in your Illustrator file, and then hold down T for text, or you can actually get the text tool right here. The text tool does this for text. So it helps us add text in our Illustrator file. So guys, don't forget that T for text. if you didn't watch my Illustrator video series, please check for the link to that video or video series in the description of this specific video. You will get a video that is going to explain to you most of these basic tools that you need to play around with Illustrator and to create work that you can actually sell out that is actually professional work. So guys, check for the link in the description below. So guys, what we're going to do is, after you've actually selected this text tool, head back right here and then just click at the edge right here, because we want to add our first text, which is test. Now I'm going to zoom in right here so that you can see what I'm what I'm actually writing. So I'm going to first of all select all of that, then press or hold down your backspace button to actually delete what was actually there, that placeholder text. Then what you're going to do is, after you've actually deleted that placeholder text, you can actually add your own text, which is test in caps. So caps lock should be on. Then I'm actually going to scale this up with my shift key down. Make sure that your shift key is down so that you can actually scale this up a little bit. Now what you have to know is Illustrator actually gives you sort of like a default text that actually comes with this text tool, which is this sort of like font. It gives you this default font which comes with a text tool, but this default text is not, this default font is not what I actually used. What I actually used is what we've just downloaded. So I would want us to use what I just downloaded in this example. So make sure that this right here is actually selected, your text is actually selected. Then head right here under the properties panel, and then you will see this character sort of like property option, and then under the character property option you will see you'll get this sort of like font drop down. Here you select the different fonts, and as you can see, you're already giving me this lemon milk because it's one of the latest fonts I've actually downloaded. So the system predicts that I might be wanting to use it, or maybe I've used it before. So it's right here, but you can also actually search for it right here. Just type in lemon milk. I realized my caps lock is still on, but nonetheless the font is right here, and I actually used, I think it was the bold, sort of like, no, it wasn't the bold, could be the medium, yeah, right there, or regular. Was it regular? But let's just settle for bold. Bold is too big. Medium, yeah, that's medium. So guys, yeah, we do have our first text right here, and we've actually used a font that we've downloaded for free from this specific website called the font. So that actually brings us to our next sort of like font that I used. And before we go for that other font, let's first of all make sure that we have the other titles right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy and paste this in place. Just Ctrl C, then hold on Shift key plus the Command key or the Control key on a Windows machine, then V for pasting in the same position, just like I did. Now I'm going to head back right here. Then I'll say that this other option or this other title was called redesign. Add redesign, then do the same thing. Control C or Command C, then hold on a Shift key plus your Command or Control button on your keyboard for a Windows machine, then V, which will actually paste in the same position. In the same position because we would want to keep these titles well aligned together, so that we don't have to like come back and then like make sure that we align. That will actually be a very long process. But these shortcuts will always come in handy once you're actually working on like multiple projects and you don't have time. You have so many projects and so many clients to work on, so you want to use most of these shortcuts. So guys, the other thing is after I've actually pasted that, hold on Shift key, then drag this other sort of like title right here, and that is the track sort of like title. Now don't mind about the sizes, you can actually adjust these as we move on. Now guys, that is it for the first part. Now the other parts are our paragraphs. So what we're going to do is we are now going in for these paragraphs. Now for these paragraphs, I actually used a different font. So that actually brings us in for our next font. And that next font, I actually got it from a website called fontsquirrel.com. Sorry, I got it from a website called fontsquirrel.com. So this font that I used for these paragraphs, I actually got it from a website called fontsquirrel.com. Copy the link to this specific website from the description below, and then what you're going to do is, after I've copied that link, head back right here in your browser and then open up another tab and then paste it right there and then click enter. Now guys, once you click enter, you'll be brought to this specific website. It's also sort of like resembles this first website, but just because they have like different ways of like arranging their fonts together with their font families to give you sort of like a different overview and to give you a variety. So the main reason as why I'm showing you different websites is because you might want to try out different fonts for different projects and see what exactly works for you and what exactly does not work for you. So guys, after you've actually got into this website, what you're going to do is you'll also see to it that these also have categories, and you realize that for them, what they say is they do have free fonts for commercial use. So Font Squirrel, they do say that they do have fonts, free fonts for commercial use that you can use commercially for free. So what you're going to do is, once you're here, what I did was that I actually looked out for this really nice Source Sans Pro. It's called Source Sans Pro. It's a font that is really nice looking, and it actually caught my eye, kinda, although all of these fonts are actually in black and white. But you can actually settle for any font on this specific website, and you'll find out that on this specific website you can also just download the fonts on the fly. So what you can do is, for this, you can just download the OTF. Now OTF is just a font sort of like styling, but what you're going to do is, once this is done, just open it up. So it's right here, just a zip file, double click it, and then you'll get the sort of like folder with all the fonts. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open up my font book right here. I'll just sort of like minimize it, and then I'll select all of these at once. So just select all of them at once with the shift key down, and then just drag them in your font manager, just like we did for the lemon milk font. From the font. So release, and then installation will start. It's done. So it's right here. Our Source Sans Pro is right here. Let me just actually make sure it's big. It's right here, and all of these are actually the styles that come with it. So I do have it on my system, and I'm actually going to use it for any graphic design, web design, or any other project that I do have. So what we're actually going to do is, I'm going to copy this text from our example. You can actually copy this text from the example I gave you, or from the text file. I think I'll be adding a text file here. So that is what I'm going to be doing. Let me just copy everything from here. So that's everything from here, and you'll find out that at first I had actually uninstalled the font, but once I actually installed it, it actually got back the original sort of like font it was designed in. So guys, this is how this font actually looks like. You can actually settle down for any of these specific styles. What I did is I actually settled down for the regular sort of like styling. Let me actually make sure that all of these are actually of the same font size. So guys, you can play around with any of the fonts from this specific website. You can actually try out this. It's called Sophia Pro. You can try out any of the fonts on this specific website. So guys, that actually brings us to the font I actually used for this other area down here. And that next font, I actually got it from a website called 1001 Free Fonts. And what they actually say is you can download as much as 71,297 free fonts for Windows and Mac. Now just imagine all those fonts being ready for you to use as a designer, as a sales agent, a marketeer, a digital sort of like designer or marketeer, anyone that creates digital content or work that involves text really needs to check out this specific website. So guys, what you're going to do is copy the link to this specific website from the description below. So I'll copy the link, then I'll head back right here in my browser, open up a new tab, and then paste that link right there, and then click enter. Now you'll be brought to this specific website. Now let me actually zoom in right here. You actually get this sort of like privacy sort of like warning or message. Just click agree, then you'll be given access to their website. So all of these fonts are also for free. Just come right here, search for a font, download, start using. So what I want to do is when I was here, I wanted to look for a rounded sort of like font, because as you can see right here in our example, let me first get back right in our example. As you can see, I used a rounded font because it was going to bring out this information below this infographic a little bit much better than using maybe something that is more sort of like blog oriented, like maybe this one right here for the heading. So I wanted something rounded, and I actually got that font from this website called 1001freefonts.com. What I did is I actually looked out for this specific category called the rounded category. Click on it, and then you'll be brought to this specific area or part of the website. Then once I was here, I actually looked out for this Rocco sort of like font type or font family. Then this right here is free for personal use. And I actually clicked the download button, and then I got the file. So let me open it up right here. It's a zip file, and zip it, and then I do have access to the fonts. So let me open up my font book. So it's just like the same procedure. Just select all of the fonts, then drag them right here, then you'll have access to them. And then I'll just come back right here, like you can see, and then I'll actually start copying the text, and then I'll bring it right here. You can actually add any text. It could be your text, it could be someone else's text. Just get text that actually matches what you actually want. Then just come back right here and then just paste it in. You could actually put in your phone number. You could do something for yourself as you get to learn how to use these specific elements. So guys, I'll actually paste that right in. Sorry, actually brought in the entire group. Let me actually ungroup that. So this was actually the raw file. We're actually just replicating it right here. So that was actually the font I used. And as you can see, it's right here. It's called Rocco. Actually, use the regular style. You could use the bold, but since this formation is actually not that sort of like crucial, it's just supplementary information. You do have to look out for something that will actually make sense eventually. Now you can go ahead and align these. So guys, moving on, the next website I would want to show you that you can use to get free fonts together with font families is FontSpace. So guys, copy the link to FontSpace from the description below. And what they say is they give you designer-centered font sizes or font specs and font families that designers can use in their day-to-day life. So copy the link from the description below and then head back to your web browser, open another tab and then paste it right there and then press your enter button on your keyboard and then you'll be brought to this wonderful website. So guys, if at all you fail to get any font from these three websites that I've taken you through, which is the Font Squirrel. You can also use 1001 fonts or free fonts, and then you can get free fonts. For you don't get the fonts from this side, you can actually use fontspace.com. So guys, as you can see, they have free downloads of legally licensed fonts that are perfect for your design projects. They have 100,000 plus, 100,000 plus free fonts for you to use in your next graphic design project. What I did, I think, when I was here, in order to actually get some fonts, because I didn't actually remember getting any fonts from this website, but I've just added it as a bonus to you because these website generally has sort of like really styled fonts that you can use for maybe party flyers, maybe events flyers, flyers that are sort of like advertising things to be enjoyed, things that will entice the viewer as in terms of enjoyment. If at all you want maybe fonts that you can use, maybe in your articles, you can use the font.com, but these other websites, you can use their fonts for other purposes, like maybe designing, just like I've told you, flyers together with advertising content for places that actually bring excitement or joy to people. Because as you can see, these fonts actually bring out that sort of like juice or sort of like excitement and joy, calm and peace once someone uses these fonts. So what you can do now to download one of these fonts is just click on this download button right here, this one right here with these colors, and then you will get a zip file right here. Then go ahead and unzip, then download or install those fonts using your font manager. So guys, moving on, apart from this website, the other website I would want to take you through is actually called Font Zone. Font Zone, just like you can hear, Font Zone. I think this website is just a zone of fonts. You know how to go to this website, copy the link to fontzone.net in the description, and then head back right here in your web browser, and then create another tab, and then paste in that link right there, and then click enter. Now, I actually brought it in with the number. Let me just redo that. So you will be brought to this specific website right here. So guys, just like their slogan says, this is a zone of fonts. They say they have over 50,000 free fonts. So apart from the 100,000 that you get from here, you have 50,000 more fonts right here for you. Plus these other websites that I've shown you. So guys, when you're here, you can look for a font that you're really interested in. There's this one called Organo. I can download it right here. Just click on this button right here, download, and then I'll be brought to this page. And then you have to verify that you're not a robot. Then you can download. I'm sure it will download right here. Download Nano font. Please click the link below. Okay, download. Right there, it has begun downloading, and I will get a zip. Unzip, install using your font manager. Those were the websites that I wanted to actually take you through that you can use to get free font families together with fonts that you can use in your next design project. It doesn't matter, be it a presentation, be it design, graphic design, web design, motion design, video design, anything that has to do with design and concerns text or using text here there. So guys, make sure you check out these specific websites. I think there are around five websites that I have given you today. Please check out the links to these specific websites in that description below. So guys, moving on, the next thing I'm going to take you through is continuing to add the different aspects of this specific graphic design or infographic that we are trying to create. So for the remaining part of this video, I'm going to take you through how you can add the rectangles, these rectangles together with these specific colors, and then also adding the borders together with the image, the strip, and then together with this specific logo. So guys, what I did was, I think for this purple color, I think I copied it from this image. So what you can do is select this specific text with the word test. Select this specific text with the word test. So guys, once you've selected it, hit I or your eyedropper tool, and then you will come right here in this image and then maybe select that specific color. What I did is I selected, then I'm going to actually use this specific color for this specific illustration. And it's purple, so I've selected it. I think I made that color a little bit darker. So double click on that fill property of this specific text. Then you can actually bring this a little bit upwards so that you can make the color darker, and then click OK. I think we have kind of matched the text color that I used in this specific infographic. So guys, moving on, I did the same thing for this specific text. I think I used the orange in this specific illustration. So let me zoom in a little bit right here, and then I will be able to select my eyedropper, and then I will copy that specific color. I think for that, what I did was, I think I moved a little bit down in order to get a brighter version of that specific color. Actually, move a little bit up, not down. You can actually even go down or up, depending on how you want to actually design this. Feel free, use the colors that might interest you, or any colors that you find matching your brand colors. So just play around with this. There are no limits to this. The other color is the red for this other section, which is the title. Select it, then hit I for your eyedropper tool, then come back right here, and then I think I used this right here in the search. So I think I'll just copy that. So that's how I actually managed to actually get the colors for these specific areas or titles. So the other thing, what I did was to actually add the rectangles. So just hit, you can hit M, or you can actually select your rectangle tool from here using this tools panel. So this is actually a tools panel, and you can actually hit M, or just come right here below the line tool and get your rectangle tool. Then I think you can actually turn off the fill from your properties panel, and then for the fill, I think I'll first of all give it a black color, and then we shall actually change it to the color of this specific text. So guys, will actually feel free while creating this. no limitations. Just feel free then create a rectangle that actually encloses that specific text, just like I've done. Then I actually left it with a border of I think 1 pixels, and then what you can do to actually match the color of the text. First of all, select the text itself, then come right here in the fill property of this specific text, then double click it, and then copy the color code right here. So I'll hit Command C or Control C on a Windows machine. Then I will click OK, and then I will select the rectangle right here, and then I will double click the sort of like border, sort of like fill property. This right here is actually called a stroke. It's called a stroke fill. Let me first actually paste it right there. I'll click OK. It's actually called the fill and stroke. So this is the stroke property of that. It's called the stroke fill or the fill stroke. I don't know which one works for you best, but whichever you choose, just keep it in mind is that once I select this area right here that replaces the fill, then that means I'm actually filling the border of that specific element. So guys, moving on, I will actually think what's wrong with this? I think I'll actually make this a little bit darker. I don't know, or brighter, depending. I think it's way too small. Let's actually increase its stroke to around 4. 3 will work. Select it. 3, yeah. So the color of the stroke actually comes out a little bit better. So you have to increase the stroke of this rectangle so that you can be able to see the color of that specific border. Now, what you can do is copy and paste in that place to actually get one for this. Then just increase on this width, and then do the same thing. Copy that color. About that. Make sure it's on top. Copy that color, and then come back right here. Select your rectangle. Then get to the stroke, and then paste it right there. Do the same thing. Copy the rectangle to actually enclose this other title. Then do the same thing. Select the text. Then come back right here. Copy the color, and then come back right here, and then paste that specific color, and then click or press enter. So guys, that's how you can actually create these rectangles. For the other rectangles, what I did was I created a rectangle on one of them, just like that. And then what I did is to actually add the corners of this specific rectangle. Make sure it's selected, because as you can see right here, we do have to make sure that this rectangle for these other paragraphs does have sort of like a corner, a rounded corner. So we do have to make sure that we first of all create the rectangle itself, then make sure that it's selected, and then hit A to make sure that you get to this direct selection tool. So the direct selection tool helps you to actually edit individual areas or parts of this specific element. So make sure that you've hit it, and then you'll be able to actually click, hold, and drag in the edges like that. So guys, in order to make our rectangle have sort of like a dotted border, make sure that you select it, then come right here in your properties panel, and under appearance, make sure that if at all you do not see that sort of like panel for styling your stroke or maybe the fill, click on this more button, and then you will get to this other section that helps you edit that specific element. Then under path, click on stroke, and then you will see more styles. Click on dashed line, and then you will be able to see your specific sort of like rectangle having this dashed sort of like border. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that in that specific area, and then I'll do the same thing. You can actually do the alignment of how you'd want this to actually look like by making sure that you adjust the illustrations together with other elements in order to create balance. Now, the other thing I would want to actually show you is how to add the image, and then we shall eventually be able to come back right here and maybe adjust some of these alignments. So feel free to adjust this the way you want. Now for the image, copy the link to unsplash.com in the description, and then what you're going to do is create another tab. So copy the link from the description below, open another tab right here, and then paste in that link and press your enter button. So you'll be brought to this website. It's called unsplash.com. You're going to get an image right here and then place it in our project right here. So guys, I took you through how you can get free images in my first videos to this specific series of coming up with this specific infographic. If you did not watch that video, please check for the link to that video in the description below. You will get a link to the video where I showed you how to get free images from such websites. Now, what you're going to do is actually type in white patterns, because the background has white patterns. Type in white patterns, and you will see this sort of like image right here. Now just click on download free, and then it will actually download, and you can actually copy right here the link to that image, and then you can attribute. So it's actually downloading right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get it and then add it right here in this project, and then the other thing I'll do is to maybe fill these rectangles and then do some alignment, and that will be it. So guys, let's check on our download right here. So it's done, it's still downloading. So guys, what you have to do to make sure that you master the process is to actually repeat, watching this video over and over. Repeat watching the processes so that you can master how to get free images, free illustrations, free icons, free fonts, and how you can combine all of those elements to come up with something like this. Now guys, our download I think is complete. Yes, it is. Just navigate to where it is, then drag it into your project. It's going to be really huge. So first zoom out. You can zoom out using your touchpad by pinching it in and out to zoom in and out. So what you're going to do is actually zoom out, and then I'm going to flip this image, flip it, and then just place it right here because it was in portrait format. So I've actually uh, adjusted it, and I've actually put it in a horizontal sort of like landscape format. So just adjust it a bit, and then make sure that you send it to the back. Right click it, and then select arrange, and then send it to the back. So what I did was actually reduce its opacity to reduce its opacity to something you're actually comfortable with. I think I used something like 12, 15 to 16. I think I used something like 15. So that's how I actually added my background. And then the other thing I did was I filled these, I made sure they did have a fill. And what I also did was I actually sent them behind, but of course not behind this specific image. And then I actually gave them sort of like a purple me first close my let me first close my image. I think I've actually, yeah. So select them and then change their color to purple color. I think the last thing that I did was to actually add the logo together with that strip. So select everything and then scale it down a little bit. Or what you can do is just make sure that these two have been selected like that. And then just move them to the left a little bit so that you can create a strip right here. Then select your rectangle tool, then create a strip. And then for the color, I think I also gave it this specific color for this text. So I'll copy that color. And then I actually didn't give it a border. It was about fill. So I think I made that a little bit darker. And then the other thing I actually did was to place the logo. So you can get the logo from the description. There's a link to all these resources that I used. But what I actually did here was I actually got this. Let me just get it from right here, my original raw file. So you can get the link to this specific logo from the description below. So guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. You can get all the resources to this specific project from the description below. We've actually, made something that is really close to what we have right here. You can play around with the colors, play around with all the elements to make sure that you come up with something similar to what we have right here. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this series. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because there is a lot coming up. I'll be making a lot of videos that have to do with graphic design, web design, together with UI UX design. So stay tuned.